pull of the crowd, the overpowering of a tackle, the thrill of scoring, the feeling nothing compares with. Milo President's Trophy. First semi-final between St. Joseph's and Dharmaraja on 17 June at 4:15 p.m. Second semi-final between St. Peter's and Isipathana on 18 June at 4 p.m. Live and exclusive on Dialogue Television Channel 1, ThePapare.com and Dialogue My TV.
Okay, this year prior to the big finale,
Legends Rugby Showdown.
Legends match.
There will be a Legends game.
Winning captains since 1995.
Captains ලොක්කොම අවුරුදු 25ක් කලින් හිටපු කට්ටිය.
Captains who have won.
ජූනි 24 වෙනිදා
Milo Trophy finals දවසේ.
Between the Miloites and the Milo Greens.
fans to come and join with us
And I hope you all will enjoy.
witness the game. knockout final එක බලන්නත්
I hope all of you guys will be there.
ඉතින් ආරාධනා කරනවා. මමත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. It'll be a great day to recall the memories.
It's going to be a new experience, fun day before the start of the final.
Hope you guys could join us and watch that game as well.
A very good afternoon and welcome to the Sukatadasa Stadium as we eagerly anticipate the second semi-final of the Milo President's Trophy knockout tournament. This one between St. Peter's and Isipathana as we look out over these picturesque grounds. Empty stands in front of you, but behind us in our commentary position, the grandstand is chock-a-block, expecting a blockbuster game between these two teams. Already, winning pretty easily in that game against Dharmaraja. So they make their first knockout tournament final. They'll be meeting season champions of this knockout tournament. We have Isipathana who have won the tournament 7 times and St. Peter's who have won it 5 times. And that's part of the Isipathana coaching staff. Rajiv Pereira in the middle there talking to Samson Roy, who was part of that champion Isipathana College team, St. Peter's team. And they will be discussing exactly what they need to do in order to beat this Isipathana team who finished second in the league. Joining me in the commentary box, Dinuk Paskar, and it's going to be a game that will probably be a little tighter than the one we saw yesterday.
Everyone watching this live telecast on the ThePapare.com, yes, it's been closely contested. Knowing that Isipathana and St. Peter's beating is. You can see on the screen the crowd is slowly building up, and we are here for a cracker between these teams. Isipathana, of course, beating St. Anthony's 29 points to 28 in the second quarter final, and then St. Peter's beating Trinity College 38 points to 24 and qualifying into these semis. They'll be playing against winners of today will be playing against St. Joseph's next week, and if you can ask for a Joe Pete clash again, that will be brilliant.
Well, it looks like Isipathana's form has dipped a little bit since the league tournament. We've had plenty of injuries in the Isipathana camp as well, and then a bout of fever that has been going through the camp, and you know how quickly that spreads. When one player gets it, it just spreads to the whole team so quickly because of shared bottles and shared accommodation and whatever it may be, that viruses spread very quickly throughout teams. So we've had a large swathe of this Isipathana College team that has been laid low by this. So that will all give St. Peter's a little bit of confidence. We spoke to Diat Fernando very briefly running out on his warm-up, and they seem G'd up, they seem confident. They've beaten this team once before, and they seem happy that they can do it one more time.
Yeah, they did it last week, Shanaka, against Trinity. They pulled up the second time. They pulled out a win second time against that one of the top 3 teams in the league. And here's another opportunity for them to beat Isipathana once again. And they know how to do that because they've done that in the league competition. So I think lightly St. Peter's have an edge over Isipathana, but this Isipathana team is a fighting unit, isn't it? They'll come back anytime, and the way they played against St. Anthony's in the last 10 minutes will show that they can come back from anywhere.
And I think both these teams will fancy the fact that this is the tougher semi-final. This is the one that will probably decide the final as well, and they would think that if they get through this, then they might be able to win the final. So this is one of the games that they really need to be up for. We had yesterday St. Joseph's beating Dharmaraja fairly comfortably in the end, and that was the first finals appearance for was going to be the first finals appearance for either of those two teams, and it turned out to be St. Joseph's who reached their first knockout tournament final. So let's wait and see who they will be going to meet in just over 80 minutes time when these two teams take the field. This Milo President's Trophy knockout has been a very glamorous tournament in the past, and we've had Isipathana and St. Peter's both winning this tournament numerous times. Isipathana winning 7 times and St. Peter's winning 5 times. Last time was under Keith Gurusingha in 2010, and St. Peter's winning comfortably then. And then we had Kushan Idunil's side who won last year from Royal College as well. So Isipathana are the defending champs in this tournament, which means they will be wanting to do it 2 games in a row. But this side really hit by the fact that guys like Sumudu Rankotge have been having injuries. So we'll talk about the teams when we come back live on ThePapare.com. Don't go anywhere. We're bringing you the second semi-finals action.
Ayya used to say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's the day everything changed. Milo Energy, from the goodness of milk, malt, barley and chocolate, brings out the best in you. Milo, fueling the winning spirit.
Nestle, good food, good life.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The first rule is trust yourself.
Fitness Diaries, in a mission to uplift the fitness arena in Sri Lanka.
The Breakdown, end-to-end Sri Lankan rugby.
The pull of the crowd, the overpowering of a tackle, the thrill of scoring, the feeling nothing compares with. Milo President's Trophy. First semi-final between St. Joseph's and Dharmaraja on 17 June at 4:15 p.m. Second semi-final between St.Peter's and Isipathana on 18 June at 4 p.m. Live and exclusive on Dialogue Television Channel 1, ThePapare.com and Dialogue My TV.
Okay, this year prior to the big finale,
Legends Rugby Showdown.
Legends match. There will be a Legends game.
winning captain since 1995.
Captains ලොක්කොම අවුරුදු 25ක් කලින් හිටපු කට්ටිය.
Captains who have won
ජූනි 24 වෙනිදා
Milo Trophy finals දවසේ.
Between the Milo Whites and the Milo Greens.
fans to come and join with us.
And I hope you all enjoy witness the game.
knockout final එක බලන්නත්
I hope all of you guys will be there.
ඉතින් ආරාධනා කරනවා. මමත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. It'll be a great day to recall the memories.
It's going to be a new experience, fun day before the start of the final.
Hope you guys could join us and watch that game as well.
Very good afternoon and welcome back to your live coverage of the second semi-final between Isipathana and St. Peter's, live from the Sugadasa Stadium. You're watching us on the ThePapare.com on Dialogue TV 1 and of course My TV. This is the Isipathana College defending champions lineup. Vikas Madhava, Nepul Atukorala, Ranash Premadasa, Ravidu Anjula, Chamod Sandaruan, Janit Vidusanka, Sudhira Gayanath, Levin Gunaratna, Harit Bandara, Anjana Kulasekara, Nadisha Chamidu, Manilka Ruberu, Randy Silva, Ramit Himasha and Chamod Fernando. Big absence there of Sumudu Rankolke, their captain. So Randy Silva moving to 13 and Kulasekara coming in to fill Randy's position in number 10. So that's a huge positional shift for Isipathana. Will that come back to haunt the defending champions against the St. Peter's College team?
Yeah, that'll be a big question mark, Shanaka, but Isipathana played St. Anthony's without Sumudu Rankodge in that last 20 and they played well. That'll be pleasing for Lasinta and his coaching staff, playing without Sumudu Rankodge. Here's the St. Peter's lineup: Nikhil Yapa, Julian Charles, Kayas Abdullah in the front row, Ashen Mendis and Bilal Hilmi will play in the second row, Umar Mohideen, Jason Karunaratne. He has been a terrific player for St. Peter's. Angelo Mendis at number 8 coming back, Ravin Fernando and Suel Fernando at 9 and 10, Rukshan Madhushankar and Mark Kasa will be on the wings with Sunira Fernando, Tikshana Dasanayaka in the centers and Captain Diat Fernando at 15. Angelo Mendes coming in at number 8 after absence, and they are also missing the big player Steven Sivaraj in that number 10 jersey, Shanaka.
Yes, but I think that might be a little bit of a blessing in disguise against this Isipathana team, because if you kick into the hands of Chamod Fernando, that's going to be a problem. Here are the replacements that may come in and make a difference in the last 20. Udukumbura Fernando, Seram, Fernando Shenuka, Senura Pereira, Madhusanka, Sandaruan, Vishara Shehan and Arakam Irshad for St. Peter's, and we have Danuka Pereira, Verkish Dilshan, Numesh Jayaman, who drops to the bench today. Dilusha Yasa, Sarasingha, Ratnavira, Hetya Azmi, Abishka and Keshava are the replacements for Isipathana. But coming back to Steven Sivaraj, Dinuk, he does go to his boot a lot, and I think Isipathana will be expecting that, and now that they've got Suhail Fernando at number 10, he might just distribute the ball and have Tikshana Dasanayaka get the ball a little bit more often, make a few more of those runs that he's deadly for. He scored a few tries in the quarterfinal as well, 3 of them in fact, and he will be in good try scoring form. So we'll watch out for him today against the unfamiliar defensive capabilities of Randy Silva. He's a very good tackler, but moving into the 13 channel is a very difficult task, especially in defense against a player as good as Tikshana Dasanayaka. So that's going to be a really important matchup for both teams today, as well as we look at the protracted formalities taking place really here. The teams have been standing in the sun for a good 10 minutes or so at the moment, and the authorities really probably should streamline this particular area of the game. We'll be back after the school anthems. Rousing anthems from both teams, and you can see the support has gathered here behind us in our commentary position. And while the stands in front of you may look a little empty, don't worry too much. There's a massive crowd built up on the opposite side of the grandstand. Referee ThePapare is the man in charge of the whistle. He's got an experienced bunch of officials to assist him as well, and the two teams already getting in each other's faces as Isipathana have taken first lease of the center circle. And Isipathana will move away now for St. Peter's to huddle there as well. And it will be a game that I think will go down to the wire. Isipathana without a few big names, but that won't daunt them. No Steven Sivaraj also for St. Peter's. That won't daunt them either. They know that they've gotten here on merit. Isipathana coming back from a seemingly impossible 28-14 down to win by 29 points to 28 against spirited St. Anthony's team. And St. Peter's doing a number also on the favourites before the game of Trinity College. And they are here to do the double on Isipathana as well. The only team to beat Isipathana in the league tournament. And do you think it could happen again? Lightning could strike twice, Dinuk?
I think it could happen again with this St. Peter's team, but you can never underestimate a Isipathana team in a knockout game. They have that experience of how to win games, and they will come for sure. Is the kickoff.
Kicked off by Kulasekara, who's in the number 10 jersey today, or playing in the number 10 position. Devin Gunaratne watches that ball as it floats out, but it was kicked from inside the 22, so Isipathana will have the first attacking opportunity of the game, with Atakorala to throw into a line out just shy of the 40-meter mark.
Very important lineouts for both teams. And that's another place where the game can be won or lost.
And immediately referee ThePapare is quick on the whistle, and there was a closing of the gap in front of the line out. The throw went to the back, so was there a real material impact on the game with that closing of the gap? You've got to ask yourself. And the ball was won by St. Peter's, so sometimes perhaps let things go a little. Jayamana at the back there. St. Peter's coming across, but I think Randy Silva or Harit Bandara would have been happy with that ball. First scrum of the game. Gunaratne holds it at the back, a solid platform for Kulasekara to kick through. Manilka Ruberu is the man who is converging on Diat Fernando, who made a mess of that. Still alive, and Isipathana have managed to hang on to the ball. Holding on, says the referee. So St. Peter's will get a bit of a reprieve there.
They found a way to turn the defensive line of St. Peter's straight away, putting that grubber behind. There you go. St. Peter's was up on the defense, and Diat Fernando didn't expect that, just slipped through the legs of him. And luckily for St. Peter's, they won a penalty by just holding on.
There's certainly a penalty there. Isipathana leaving their feet, not releasing the ball. Any amount of things that could have been called there, but Diat Fernando got nutmegged by that grubber, and he won't want to see that replay, but luckily for him, no real cost. Nicely taken in the middle of the line out for St. Peter's, and Fernando puts in a big box kick. Now the danger man, Chamot Fernando, but they have realized that they'll have to chase well to counter his threat, and they do exactly that. Bandara, the box kick from the center of the field. Diat Fernando now, the ball sits up kindly for him. Not enough support, so he decided to hang on to the ball, and now the forwards get there for Isipathana, for St. Peter's rather. That's better from the Pete Wrights. Now looking to move it into the big traffic. And That's Fernando now. Little ball inside to Theekshana Dasanayake, steps nicely off his left foot. Throws a pass back inside, but unfortunately there's some foul play before Fernando grabs onto that ball. And we look like there might be an early card here. Richard Carter's flag went up immediately. The assistant referee and referee ThePapare now will have a word with the Isipathana player. We can show you the replay of what happened there in just a few moments. Referee having a chat. Fernando is the captain for the evening, and let's watch what happens here. Theekshana Dasanayake manages to get the ball back inside, and it's a tackle from behind. He did try to wrap his arms, but didn't look as terrible as it looked at first glance. So referee ThePapare is correct to keep everybody on the park. He's one of the biggest men on the park against one of the littlest men. That was Vikas Rimadeva, who finds himself still in the game and will be breathing a sigh of relief.
Yeah, not lucky not to get a card there, but it was Dasanayake who just bent a bit, and he was Vikas Rimadeva just chasing and just dived on him. Great opportunity for St. Peter's.
Ball well over the top. It was a rehearsed move. And Ravin Fernando tries to dance his way through, but the Isipathana defense was up quickly and they've turned it over. That's a good kick from Harith Bandara. The ball bouncing again unkindly for Fernando. He knocks it on. And the skipper has been in the wars early. They're putting real pressure on him, especially with the sun in his face.
2 box kicks and a grubber to Fernando to deal with early in the game. Just 5 minutes on the clock, and then this Isipathana team have noted something that Fernando can be weak in. There you go, the replay once again. The rugby ball bouncing left, right, above him, and then touching his hand and going forward. Great opportunity. Center scrum on the 22-meter mark.
Devin Gunaratne is bound in the number 1 channel. Look for him to go off onto the right. That's exactly what he does. Draws the pass. Harith Bandara with a lovely little long ball to Chamod Fernando. Fernando with the inside pop. It's well taken there by Chaminda, who hung on to it. Here's Jayannath. Just short, meters short of the line, and that's over. Clear as day, that try. And it looked like it was a man who started it all off, Devin Gunaratne, who scores that. Brother of the incumbent Sri Lanka number 8, Omalka, who wore this jersey with so much distinction, and Devin Gunaratne, his little brother, has scored first in the knockout final. That's the pass that created the try from Chamod Fernando. Lovely run from him. Managed to pop that ball on the inside. And a good collection there. Didn't panic Isipathana in these close quarters. Didn't try to force it. Jayannath went in close. Laid the ball back sensibly. And a good pick up and go from Devin Gunaratne from that distance. Look, it's an early try and an early blow.
Yeah, very good work from Isipathana. It's not only their backs that they're working for, and their forwards are also playing well. And the kick is good, and it'll be a 7-0 for against St. Peter's. And a good one too by Manilka Ruberu.
An excellent kick. He's only the 3rd choice kicker, Manilka Ruberu, and he's deputizing for Chamod Fernando, who's not doing the kicking anymore because of an injury to his hamstring. But he looks like he's been on the training park. Riza Mubarak has been working fairly closely with him by the looks of things. That was an excellent conversion. And Isipathana take the restart. 8-9, and that one was charged down, so everybody's onside. Karunaratne runs this into midfield. Here's Ravin Fernando with the long pass. Mark Asau. In fact, it's Madhusanka on the far side. This is better from St. Peter, stringing a few phases together. Big forwards running laterally is not what they want to see, so they'll be hoping to get some width on this ball. Nice spin in the tackle. And now they've got room. Here's Fernando. Fernando to Madhusanka, who cuts back inside. It is Madhusanka on the swing, and it was Asau on the last one. And that's a nice long ball across the face of the defense. Yapa. Juggled but held on. Isipathana looked like they might have snaffled this one. They have turned it over, and this is where they're dangerous. Watch for the box kick again from Bandara. And Randy Silva puts the little grubber in. It's clearly a tactic that Isipathana have talked about, and now Mark Asau cuts through. Isipathana were waiting for him though, and now they need to try and make this count. St. Peter's, a lovely counter-attack, a mini counter-attack there from Asau. And it's been turned over once again by Isipathana on the ground. Two very good turnovers, relieving attacking pressure. And Bandara again puts this up, and well dealt with that time. Going across the field, Diat Fernando looking for his support. Puts a little chip in. And Chaminda does well. Now Chamut Fernando will return the favour. End-to-end stuff here at Sugatadasa Stadium. Chamut just dragged back by the fingernails. And Randy Silva coming in at first receiver. St. Peter's are still recovering and don't have a fullback. Harit Bandara spots it now. And bounces that one into touch. So a wonderful passage of play from both teams comes to a excellent conclusion, with Isipathana having a chance to go in once again for a try, but St. Peter's tried manfully there.
What a passage of play. 3 minutes of non-stop rugby in both halves, kicking both sides, and yes, as you said, Isipathana have exploited something in that back three. Now that Ravin Fernando is also dropping back every time Harit Bandar is going closer to the ruck, knowing that they're going to kick behind. Mark Asau also needs to drop behind. They need at least 4 players to counter-attack.
Suhail Fernando puts the ball deep, not going to find touch. And De Silva gives it to Chamut Fernando. Now Chaminda now. Here's Harit Bandara, looks for Randy Silva. Silva just palming that ball off, trying not to get too involved early on, and Kulasekara now with the big kick. That's an excellently weighted kick, falling just on the 22-meter line. Diat Fernando wasn't sure whether he could mark it or not, and decides to take the safe option and thump this upfield to his opposite number. Fernando looks for the long pass to Bandara. Bandara steps 2. Coming straight through, and here's Devin Gunaratha, the try scorer, already powering through that short gap that appeared. Kulasekara. Here's Randy Silva now. Puts a little grubber in. Ball sitting up beautifully. And Chaminda with an excellent chase, gets on his feet and takes the ball as well. Excellent work from the winger. And now Isipathana still have it. And Diat Fernando thought the ball was out. And it was, but he came in from an offside position. Never retreated behind the last foot. And Harit Bandara now waits. Gunaratne goes back into the heavy traffic. Not 10, says the referee, so Isipathana will get a second crack at that. Good positive move from Isipathana to go for the corner. And St. Peter's under the cosh early. That was a lovely grubber from Randy Silva. The ball just sat up nicely. Fernando expected it to go out. When he reacted, it was a little too late. And Chaminda does excellently well not to give away the penalty. Now Atakorala with an important throw in. And that's completely botched. But the referee says numbers in the line out. So the short tap gets converted on Isipathana's request to a scrum. And they will have yet another crack at the St. Peter's line. So a costly mistake and a reprieve.
And 2 times they have got the free kick. Isipathana, that shows how much confidence they have in their scrums as well. Both times they have opted for a scrum. That's very interesting, because at the beginning of the season, you would have, if anyone would have said that Isipathana will opt for a scrum close to that 5-meter mark rather than running, most of them would have been laughing. But here you go, Isipathana have gained confidence in their scrum.
Gunaratna controls at the back, and Harit Bandara gets it away. Nice short ball to Manilka Ruberu, who's a strong man. Good carry there from Yasagam Pitia. And here's Sudhira Gayanath. Harit Bandara now, and it looks like Randy Silva will stroll in. He's got an unfamiliar number on his back, but he scores tries familiarly. Randy Silva just having a word with the Isipathana, with the St. Peter's College defense as well, rubbing it in. And the rub of the green, as they say, is totally with Isipathana. Ravin Fernando doesn't manage to lay a hand on Silva. And the big fend comes out, and it's the second try for Isipathana.
It all started when Diaz Fernando misjudged that bounce of that rugby ball. He thought that will go into touch. It bounced back infield, and a very good chase from Rukshan, from Chaminda, who managed to turn over that ball and then won that free kick for Isipathana College. From there on, it was all Isipathana's way. Harit Bandara just kept passing to the right side, used the width of the field. And what a kick from Manilka Ruberu, the second one from the same spot. It's not easy for a right kicker to kick from the far side of this, from where you're watching. And Manilka Ruberu has done that. 2-14 points to nil. Isipathana lead.
Not the kind of scoreboard the St. Peter's fans would have come here to see. But if they are to avoid that, then Diaz Fernando needs to step up at the back. They've been really exploiting the holes in the back three's defense. And it's one thing to take the high ball, it's another one to deal with the bouncing low one. So St. Peter's will need to now understand that they have to counter this grabber kick and chip kick from Isipathana. Gunaratna takes it up confidently. Bandara probably look for the box kick again. He does. This time Madhusanka is well prepared for it. Throws a long pass to Diaz Fernando, whose heart would have been in his mouth for a few minutes while that ball bounced into his hands. And now again he seems to have got caught and isolated himself. Managed to come away with it though, St. Peter's. And they've won a penalty advantage as well. Nice hands from the Peterites there. Fernando with a terrible kick. But the referee will come back for that initial advantage.
Referee Dinkava will have a word with the assistant referee. Wants to have a word with Premadasa. Looks like it's bleeding and it'll be sent out. Premadasa running repairs. Pereira will come in place of him. And St. Peter's also have a player who's bleeding heavily. Looks like it's Julian Charles who have been taken out, and Isuru Fernando. In the meantime, there's a yellow card which has been given. Let's see if, why that was for.
Didn't quite see it there, Dinuk, but I did see the touch judge on the far side gesture with his foot that there was a kick. And if that was the case, then lucky it's just a yellow, to be very honest.
And that's the second time he has been spotted. Yasagam Pitya.
So St. Peter's now with one of their first opportunities close to the line. Just a couple of meters outside the 22. Robin Fernando drops that ball dead, and a couple of key players making costly errors for St. Peter's. Again, referee ThePapare is calling for medical assistance, so that's not ideal. Saw the knock forward there, but didn't see where any injury may have occurred.
First 18 minutes have been always, it's all Isipathana who have controlled the game so far, not allowing St. Peter's to settle in the game. I don't think St. Peter's had an opportunity where they can put together more than 5 faces so far in this game. Isipathana have been doing all the playing in that opposition territory of St. Peter's, and what they have done is they have made sure that at least 3 players will stay for that box kick or the grubber that the Isipathana players will put in, which will make these Isipathana backs dangerous with open space now in that first line of defense.
Absolutely, Dinuk. See how Kulasekara deals with this one. It's carried back, but it's an excellent kick. Puts Asau under a lot of pressure. That pass looked like it might have been flat at best. And now Madhusankar will try to put the burners on. Diath Fernando protects the ball just long enough for the support to come his way. And that's a nice long ball, brilliantly picked up as well by the big man. Was Abdullah. But it's been turned over, which is unfortunate. Kulasekara now again going for that tried and tested kick. Diath Fernando carried that one back, so it'll be all the way back. Didn't carry it back, says referee Irshad Kader. But it was a really well-weighted kick. Just on or about the 22-meter line, just confusing Diath Fernando as to whether he could mark it or not.
That's the second time Kulasekara has done that. There's a player down and off your screen for Isipathana. Gayanath, Sudhira Gayanath, another key player for Isipathana College.
That'll be a huge loss if he's unable to continue, Dinuk, because he's a main line-out man. But no chance of him staying off if he can help it.
Both knees heavily strapped for him, Sudhira Gayanath.
Very easily done there by Isipathana and should probably have done a little bit better than they ended up doing, given that they won that line out so easily. It was a fake to the back and the line out jumper comes to the front to take it. Another four-man line out now for St. Peter's. And a superb steal at the front, almost a superb steal from Anjula. Fernando with a rare mistake under the high ball. And looking at the sun, Shamuth Fernando makes the kind of mistake we haven't really seen him make.
He has been brilliant throughout the season, isn't it? Under the high ball and the way he counter attacks. He'll try to make up for this. Here's the kick once again. Straight to Shamuth Fernando. Got it initially, and that second bounce just not lifting that hands up enough.
Well, there's another team in green that's going great guns in England. And another one here at Sugadasa Stadium going equally well. Ravin Fernando thinks about the pass. Now he throws a loose one, and luckily for him, Thikshana Dasanayaka picks it up cleanly. Mendis fighting his way towards the 22. Isipathana defense trying to hold him up, and they now get his knees on the ground. Well done by Mendis there. But the counter ruck is superb from Isipathana. But referee says coming in at the side. I'm really not sure that they did. We can see a replay of that. We'll see where the penalty came as Thikshana Dasanayaka goes to take the touch finder.
St. Peter's have tried to play this game open and fast, and that's playing into the hands of Isipathana. They love to play like that. Here's the replay once again.
It was a good counter ruck. There were not many players from St. Peter's to protect that ball, so Isipathana might feel a bit hard done by, even more so if they score from here. Ravin Fernando sniping towards the line, well picked up there. Abdullah hammering his way towards the line, and hands in that ruck, says the referee. Dinkaperi stops the quick tap from Ravin Fernando, who takes it quickly this time. And Angelo Mendes is over for the try. Ravin Fernando thought quickly. And Mendes, returning from a long layoff for a concussion, comes back and scores the try to put St. Peter's back in the game.
Yeah, quick thinking by Ravin Fernando. Was denied initially for taking that quick tap. Here's once again, no one in front, as you can see on the screen. Now the Isipathana defense tried to drift, but Mendes was there, and he had about two Pete Wrights with him. But he doesn't need the support of him, and he scores for St. Peter's. Good comeback, and they need to hit back again if they are to equal Isipathana.
Looked like Ravin Fernando could have gone himself actually there, but chose to be unselfish. Threw a quick pass out to his vice captain.
Kick goes astray off the left post. Had the distance but not the direction. So 5 points to 14. Very important kicks in this knockouts. Isipathana still a man down. And this is where St. Peter's can come back into the game.
So Yasagam Piri is still off for Isipathana. That's why that yellow card is above the Isipathana College graphic. Ravin Fernando, who created that try, will use his left boot to thump this one into touch, and Devin Gunaratne with an acrobatic attempt to keep that ball in field has unfortunately conceded the line. And referee Irshad Kader deeming that Devin Gunaratne was already out when he caught that ball. And Irshad Kader is deeming that is inaccurate, to say the least. So Gunaratne lucky to have a line out feed there, and also gets a free kick. So that's the second time that they've made that error, and Dinka Peiris needs to have a chat with the pack leader, who looks like it's Julian Charles for St. Peter's. Not sure they understand what if the mistake is, Dinu.
Yeah, clearly you would have suggested that the numbers on the lineup was not matching Isipathana's. Very good kick by Ravin Fernando. Should have been hard done. It would have been an St. Peter's ball. Would have been a totally different story. Here's Arit Bandara to feed into the scrum.
Devin Gunaratne goes off the back, thinks about the offload, but stands in the tackle instead. Bandara waits and puts the kick in. He's done well with this kick. Diat Fernando that time opts not to mark it and hooks it away to near the 50-meter line. So he'll be happy with that gain. It was a ugly kick, but it found some distance.
Once again, Isipathana now trying to take the lineouts quickly, not letting St. Peter settle down. And numbers will be a problem if they consider another one. Here's Devin Gunaratne just goes through that line out. And now opportunity for Isipathana College. Randy Silva to Ruberu in centre field. Quick ball out to Anjana. Anjana tries to run on his own. And St. Peter's looks like have managed to turn over ball. Here's Fernando to Mark Asau, but the referee comes back for a penalty for Isipathana College. He's right in front of the post. Decision making time for Isipathana.
Well, Ruberu has pointed to the post. Looks like he's confident of getting it from 30 meters out. Just over 30 meters out. So should be an easy 3 points the way he's been kicking this afternoon. And again, St. Peter's discipline, just letting them down, discipline with the ball in hand and discipline in defense as well. So one area where Isipathana have been a cut above so far today, just about reaching the half an hour mark in this game. It's 5 points to 14. This for an extension of to 12 points. Well, that was not the best kick, so drifts wide. Big pass out from Ruberu to Harit Bandara, and that's probably going to be a yellow. Madhusankar lifted him beyond the 90. And Anjula is definitely going to stay down for as long as he can to try and milk the yellow card. But as soon as Madhusankar lifted the player, he had to bring him down safely. So watch it here. It's a good hit by Madhusankar. And it looked a lot worse than it was. Have to ask whether it's even a yellow card. This would probably be referred to the TMO in an international game, but he seemed to bring him down with as much safety as he could.
Looks like referee ThePapare is going for a yellow card. In fact, he's yes, it's a yellow card for Madhusankar.
Well, if you can see that again, we'll see whether it deserves to be more or less than a yellow card. Madhusankar trudges off to the bench and he'll probably be back just in time for half time. You watch the replay here again, Dinu.
Brings him down.
Well, he does seem to lift the player's legs even after he was going up, Dinuk. So I think referee Pierce may have just got that one right.
There's another opportunity for Isipathana College. Devin Gunaratna. No way through there for him. Bandara to Kulasekara. Silva. Chaminda has the Silva on the outside. No way through that for Isipathana College. They come back again to the left side. And a breakthrough by St.Peter goes very close to the try line. Quick ball to the left will be the call. Bandara still searching for it. Referee playing advantage. Goes to the right side. Trying to step and run through is Sudhira Gayanath. Here's an opportunity once again. Chamod Fernando looking for options. Needs to offload. Didn't have players running in support for him at that point. Isipathana picking and driving. Just close to that 5-meter line. Getting very close, inches close to the try line for Isipathana College now. St. Peter's holding on. Here's Harit Bandara looking for options. Comes back out to Sudhira Gayanath once again. Here's Bandara off to Silva. Ruberu. And as the Silva on the outside, too much space for him. He'll just run across and touch that down for Isipathana. Third try of the game. And St. Peter's defense has to look at themselves very seriously, or is this going to be a long day if Isipathana continue playing like this.
The extra man in the wide channels really paying dividends for Isipathana. Randy Silva, quick hands. Manuka Ruberu unselfishly gives it away to De Silva. It's a lovely pass. De Silva didn't have to check his stride at all. And he slides in for the third try that Isipathana have scored this afternoon in as many as 30 minutes.
Here's the kick from the sideline, misses the first one of the day. Manilka Ruberu. Took a part in the second one, a penalty and a conversion.
Real difficult one for the refs and the players, isn't it? That lifting in the tackle, but it looked like there was a bit of a tip. It wasn't a spear tackle, it was a tip tackle. So referee correct to use the yellow card there. A spear tackle would probably have resulted in a red. That's the one where you pile drive the opponent into the dirt. St.Peter, fresh from his sojourn to the sin bin. And Bandara again waits for the box kick opportunity. Puts that in a little lower. And Mendis collects it, but the referee has spotted a player in front of the kicker. He's asked whether he wants a penalty or whether he wants a scrum, and that time Diaz Fernando opting for the touch kick so that he can get a little closer to the line through the left boot of Ravin Fernando on this right side touchline.
St. Peter setting up a maul and driving forward. Ravin Fernando marshalling his troops. Here's an opportunity for Peters, trying to bring in the big man in the center field. Sunira Fernando. Ravin once again. And referee playing advantage for St. Peter's College. A penalty quickly taken by Ravin Fernando, but he didn't tap the ball.
St. Peter's mulling the options here. Perhaps asking referee Dinka Piris what they should do as well. Ravin Fernando getting a fairly long lecture. Isipathana have gone too far ahead perhaps for points to matter. So they will look to Ravin Fernando to spark something. Angelo Mendes, the man who scored the first try. Almost straight through the gap goes Hilmi. Another little step in and a step out. Smashed in the tackle by Anjula. It was Abdullah. Not a lot of space here, but Angelo Mendes, if he got that offload, would have been in the corner. Still trying to go. Premadasa drags him down. Peters close to the line, opting to keep it close, picking and going. And the ball has been knocked on. So referee will come back for the penalty. Chamud Fernando is being called all the way up to referee Dinka Peris for a small word. Few penalties in the red zone here, Dinuk, but it looks like St. Peter's are adamant to come back into this game.
Yeah, they're trying to take the taps, quick taps, and put a lot of pressure on the defensive line of Isipathana College. Ravin Fernando was instrumental in doing that, but referee Dinka Peris having a word with Ravin. He had missed the mark a couple of times, maybe because of that. Now it will be an interesting decision if they'll tap and run or go for the line out. We have to wait and see for that. The recaps stay on top of the sporting news each day at 6:30 p.m. Your daily sports update, which brings you the day's news from the sporting arena. The recap on ThePapare.com every day at 6:30 p.m. Stay tuned.
So pretty serious injury here for the St. Peter's player. We'll tell you who it is in a moment. It's Angelo Mendes, who's just coming back from a concussion. So they really can't take any chances with him. Looked like it might have been a head clash with Premadasa. Angelo in a scrum cap as well, so hopefully the damage won't be too bad. Looks like he's insisting on staying on, but there's no way that the medical staff will allow him to stay. There's no blood, ref, he says. But it's good to see him walking off the nook.
Especially coming off a concussion injury.
And that's probably where the head clash occurred, in that collision with Premadasa. And the big Isipathana prop also has gone off for HIA, or head injury assessment. St. Peter's now 3 meters out from the Isipathana line. Good tackle from Yasagampitiya, who hasn't rolled away. Almost over the line. It looks like it scored. No, referee says that it was held up. And St. Peter's would dearly have loved to have Angelo Mendes at the back of this scrum, but it's not to be.
Here's the replay once again. If you can spot that knock forward, I think this was the knock forward was just before in that phase. No clear ground in there, so that'll be held up. Last 3 minutes, St. Peter's will love to score and get into half time.
Yanni Di Fernando at the back of the scrum in place of his vice captain, but referee saying accidental offside. I'm really not sure that had any impact on the game. And although Ravin Fernando did run into his man, he wasn't preventing any tacklers from getting there. You can watch it again. Here he is, steps inside the tackle of Gayanath. And there he was, just bumping into his own player, but Devin Gunaratna would have made that tackle anyway. See so much of those just allowed to go on in Super Rugby, isn't it, Dinuk?
Yeah, that's where referees come into play, blow according if they're an impact, not anything else. The material impact factor, Super Rugby is more practical way they officiate.
Feet up is probably the call from referee Dinka Piris. Spinning out of a couple of tackles. Now opting to keep it close under the posts. That's a big run. Close to the line. Well within the 5 meter mark. St. Peter's now forging ahead. Tikshana Dasanayaka from that angle, from that distance. Almost unstoppable, but they just drag him down. Referee Dinka Piris on the spot, and he gives a try. And it's Julian Charles, the man who came back from the blood bin after losing a heck of a lot of blood from a gash in his head, gets a deserved try today for the workload he has put in. So St. Peter's slowly closing the gap despite being a man down.
Yeah, they parked themselves inside that 22 long enough to score that try on the brink of half time. Here's that pick and drive once again. Ravin Fernando has been instrumental behind the forwards. And Julian Charles had the power to just go over that line to score a welcome try for St. Peter's. Be very happy going into half time. Just in a difference of a score and a conversion. Very important kick. Missed the first one, Tikshana Dasanayaka. Yes, this time it's over the black dot. It'll be 12 points to 19, trailing by 7. St. Peter's will go into halftime with a lot of confidence.
Yes, it's been an excellent comeback from them in the last few minutes of this game. We're watching the second semi-final between Isipathana and St. Peter's. The winner of this game will go on as Theekshana Dashanayaka strokes this over nice and cleanly. You can see the rain clouds looming on the horizon just in that shot there. And hopefully it will stay away until this match is concluded. But whoever wins this game goes into the final against St. Joseph's, the first-time finalists. Isipathana hoping to win this trophy for the 8th time and St. Peter's for the 6th time. So they're both well used to holding this Milo President's Trophy knockout trophy. But who will it be? 19 points to 12. Isipathana going to halftime against St. Peter's.
Pull of the crown, the overpowering of a tackle, the thrill of scoring, the feeling nothing compares with. Milo President's Trophy. First semi-final between St. Joseph's and Dharmaraja on 17 June at 4:15 p.m. Second semi-final between St. Peter's and Isipathana on 18 June at 4 p.m. Live and exclusive on Dialogue Television Channel 1, ThePapare.com and Dialogue My TV.
Aya used to say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's the day everything changed. Milo Energy.
You follow Sri Lankan sports, obviously, even while you're traveling. How do you do that?
Well, I follow. I always keep an eye on the cricket. I know the match is starting in a few more minutes. And the internet is a great way to do it. And, you know, initiatives like ThePapare.com, and it gives us so much information, excellent access, excellent insights. And I've noticed now that, you know, I played the game. There are a huge amount of cricket fans out there. They look at things in so much detail. They demand detail much more than, you know, we have a video analyst for us. Incredible. These guys want even more detail when it comes to, you know, reading about the game and understanding. So I think ThePapare.com provides all of that beautifully. So, you know, congratulations and well done to ThePapare.com, because for people like me and for millions of other cricket fans around the world to have a deep insight, an intricate look into sports, and also follow live scores, results, and news, that's an ideal way.
Well, you're at the right place, sharing the passion here with Kumar.
pull of the crown, the overpowering of a tackle, the thrill of scoring, the feeling nothing compares with. Milo President's Trophy. First semi-final between St. Joseph's and Dharmaraja on 17 June at 4:15 p.m. Second semi-final between St. Peter's and Isipathana on 18 June at 4 p.m. Live and exclusive on Dialogue Television Channel 1, ThePapare.com and Dialogue My TV.
Welcome back to the Sukadadasa Stadium. You're live on Dialogue TV on ThePapare.com and My TV as well, as we bring you this exciting game between Isipathana and St. Peter's. Niruk Bhaskaran in the commentary box with me. It's been a heck of a last 10 minutes from St. Peter's. They've come back into the game after conceding early points, and it's all to play for in the next 40 minutes.
Yeah, big 40 coming up for both teams. If Isipathana can hold on to this lead, and if St. Peter's continue to put that pressure that they did, parking themselves inside the 22 for about good 5 to 7 minutes in that last quarter, it's going to be a hell of a game in that in the next 40 for sure.
Well, it's 19 points to 12. It was 19-5 for a long time in that game. But St. Peter's just coming back in with a late score in that first half. And it's been end-to-end stuff. Both teams intent on running the ball. And you have to think that whoever wins this final, St. Joseph's is going to have a long road ahead of them.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy come next week. And both these teams have been getting better and better from that quarter-final.
It's not a great restart from Peters. Suhail Fernando, the man entrusted to deputize for Steven Sivaraj, who's still out injured. The captain for Isipathana, also Sumudu Rankotge, suffered a fracture of his foot, so he's not available today either. Madhusanka is back now after his stint in the sin bin. Looks like Ravin Fernando has been substituted. He's moved to the wing, on the left wing. Isipathana have turned it over. And Harit Bandara goes to the box kick, which has worked so well for them. But now with the breeze at his back, Dinuk needs to start to control it a little better.
Yeah, in that first 20 he was perfect, pinpoint perfect. Every box he put in was into space, put a lot of pressure on the back three of St. Peter's. But now he needs to control, as you said. And in the meantime, St. Peter's have not brought in Angelo Mendes. They have kept him out, and Janindu Fernando will continue at number 8 for St. Peter's.
We apologize for the slight technical delay that we had earlier with the commentary and the pictures not being in sync. So we watched that line out being overthrown and Harit Bandara not able to gather it in. We're working hard to fix the problem. Harit Bandara now gives it to Kulasekara. Kulasekara to Ruberu. And nice hands there for De Silva, the try scorer, to step back in and keep the ball alive. Lovely angle from Gayanath. And now Kulasekara accelerates through the gap. Manilka Ruberu running a good support line. And unfortunately for St. Peter's, the good defense doesn't translate. And they knock the ball on.
Sudhira Gayanath goes down once again, not the first time, holding his left knee. And they're bringing in Angelo Mendes, St. Peter's. They've kept him out for that time, the maximum they can, for that concussion test. But they have brought him in.
Well, the head injury assessment is the same as the blood bin, Dinuk, and that's 10 minutes. But you have to wonder, the half-time break came in that 10 minutes as well. So if he wasn't well enough to start at half-time, is he fit enough to start here? I really hope that Mendes is not being too much of a hero. The medical staff have cleared him because he is coming back after a long layoff for a concussion. Head injuries are not things to be trifled with. It's a good scrum from Isipathana. Gunaratna's pass is not a great one, but Bandara controls it nicely, and Chamod Fernando shows the dummy. Accelerates through the gap and now makes it available inside the 22. Diat Fernando lying all over the ball, but just gets out of the way in time. Yasagam Pitia, who's had a good game barring the yellow card, carries it forward, and now Harit Bandara waits, but there's a small knock-on under the eagle eyes of referee Dinka Piris. And Bandara sheepishly apologizes to his teammates.
He had a great opportunity inside the 22 for Isipathana College, but Bandara, very uncharacteristic error from him.
Chamud Fernando again making the burst that took Isipathana into the 22. Haven't seen him with too much ball in hand today, but still Isipathana have scored. Anjula very high in that second row position. And we have KD Madhusanka who clears that ball. It's not the same Madhusanka that was on the wing. It's a good clearance. And Isipathana just on the right side of halfway for them. Sudhir Gayanath goes back and cleans that up. Good technique from the second row to roll onto his correct side. Randy Silva collects that ball nicely. Saw the player flying up in front of him and stepped nicely out of the tackle. Harit Bandara shows and goes. And the turnover is good. Madhusanka now. Still available for St. Peter's. And somehow it's been turned over, but not without it being illegal. And Dinka Piri is spotting the hand on the floor. So good passage of play leading to some reward for St. Peter's. They've started well in the second half, Dinuk.
Yeah, except for that run from Chamod Fernando, St. Peter's have put a lot of pressure to Isipathana. Line-out has been working well for them as well. Even that opposition line-out, that Isipathana's ball, they put a lot of pressure and disrupted ball in front. And now this is a great opportunity for them to score and get closer to that Isipathana score.
Julian Charles, the man who scored that last try for St. Peter's, will be the man to throw in as well. And it's overthrown and it's knocked forward, so a complete mess they make of that line out. It's a real shame. It's the second time a team has done that today. The first was Isipathana. Total miscommunication there, but it's not just here at this level, Dinuk. We saw it. Rory Best, captain of Ireland, British Lion, doing exactly the same thing against Canterbury Crusaders. So it does happen.
It does happen. At the end of the day, they're just players. And yeah, if it happens in the international level and these school kids, straight away, Terence Henry making the change, Julian Charles coming out, and Isuru Fernando going in. So Henry has sent a strong message to the park. No mistakes will be taken out.
Charles probably still suffering the after effects of that blow to the head that he got. Opened up quite a big gash. And Peters don't manage to put enough pressure on that scrum as Devin Gunaratne has a nice platform to come away. Bandara steps and gives it away to Kulasekara, who just manages to get it away outside the 22. So that's be a psychological win for them. And St. Peter's will have another opportunity to run at this Isipathana defense. Perhaps try and work a maul that they tried in the first half. Sure, that might be the call. Especially now that Isuru Fernando has gone in and this is his first line out. Gone straight over the back. It's a good throw, and big Abdullah has been carrying the ball quite a bit for St. Peter's today. That's the number 21, Suren Pereira. Tikshana Dasanayakas. Fernando brought down inches short of the line. And holding on, says the referee. Diat Fernando trying to argue his case. The Isipathana players telling him what they thought about it.
Good passage of play once again from St. Peter's. Interesting, they're going to the back of the line out every time and not using their jumpers a lot. Isipathana used to do this a lot. Here's the replay once again. Tikshana Dasnaika. Diat Fernando had Ravin on the outside, not using it. Him right on top of the ball was Chamod Fernando, the skipper. And yeah, there was very good work from the skipper Fernando. Right on top of the ball. Perfect technique to hold on.
Adhakorala now with the throw in for Isipathana. It's a dangerous position for a defensive line out, but there's a man down in back play, but the referee says carry on. So St. Peter's are a man down. Nicely won there by Angelo, who has been excellent in the line out all season for Isipathana. Kulasekara. Again an ugly kick. But it squirts into touch. Dilshan Madhusanka on screen there, who's deputizing at scrum half since Ravin Fernando moved to the left wing. And Adhakorala, the hooker, tidies that one up for Isipathana. St. Peter's now return to their full complement of players, and Diat Fernando, or Ravin Fernando rather, does well to collect that ball and tries to get away from the attentions of Randy Silva but fails. Chamod Fernando now trying to make one of those trademark magical counter attacks. Ruberu carrying strongly, and looks like it's been turned over. Not yet, in fact. St. Peter's defense flying up on the outside, so Isipathana forced to cut back into traffic. And Bandara goes for the box kick now. The chase from Navod Chaminda is a good one. And Ravin Fernando now has a little bit of space. Looked like there was a seatbelt tackle there that the referee will come back for. Abdullah. Excellent work from the big prop forward. Angelo Mendes. Here's Asao. Another flying hit from Isipathana. That's Vikas Srimadhava. And St. Peter's now. That's a nice bit of hands there from Thishana Dasanayaka. Needs to give it. He does. And Diath Fernando shouldn't have passed that. Should have gone on his own, Diath. But unfortunately for Peters, after an excellent passage of play, they were beaten by the touchline. Carter and Pires, the referees, having a chat about that seatbelt tackle. It was high. Wasn't too dangerous, but again those seatbelt tackles look a bit worse than they are. And De Silva will plead his case. We'll see to what avail.
Here's the replay once again. Diath Fernando, this was very close to the try line. Ravin Fernando recovering and coming back. I'd like to see that replay once again. Just touch and go. Had he touched that corner flag? Can touch that corner flag.
The corner flag is not out. But referee Richard Carter deeming that he had gone into touch. Either way, there was no way that Diath Fernando should have passed that ball. Really, there was no room for Ravin Fernando to move in. Taken quickly now. Athukorala with an important tackle and rips the ball away. That was excellent defensive work from the little hooker. Ravin Fernando spins like a top. Well brought down by Premadasa. Little goose step there from Isuru Fernando. And he's still going. The replacement hooker has shoveled a few people out of his way. And another opportunity now for St. Peter's. A penalty came because of an illegal turnover. Illegal attempt at a turnover rather. And here's some numbers for St. Peter's, straightening it up. Had men over on the outside, but the referee will come back for the 10 meter infringement. And Thikshana Dasanayaka will fancy his chances from here.
Right in front of the post. It'll bring them to the... If this kick goes through, it'll be just a 4-point game going into the last quarter of the match. And here's the replay of that try once again. Shanaka still not out. He's touched the corner flag. He's not landed on the outside. Touch and go, isn't it?
It would be great if we had a front-on angle, but the corner flag is not out. Remember that. The corner flag is not out, but the referee was right on the spot, and we don't have another more conclusive angle. So Irshad Carter had the best view, and that's a nice clean strike from Thikshana Dasanayaka. Brings them within 4 points of Isipathana. Can see Dasanayaka there urging his team on. It's been a quiet season for him in the league. He's come into his own now in the knockout tournament. Scored 3 tries in the last game against Trinity, and now contributing with the boot as well.
Angelo Mendes taken out. And Gianni Fernando has walked in.
Yes, I think that's probably a wise move. Mendes is an inspirational player to have on the park, but not at the expense of his health. Suhail Fernando has been under a lot of pressure in that pocket today. Isipathana's chase has been excellent, but he got that away nicely. And now Harit Bandara, the pass looked like it may have been flat to the Peters crowd, forward to the Isipathana crowd. Here's Kulasekara. They palmed it off nicely. Here's Yasagam Pitya. In fact, it wasn't Yasagam Pitya, it was Pereira who's on as a replacement. Found himself in acres of space and wasn't quite sure what to do with it.
Yeah, didn't have enough support running in as well. On the left side had one bit too far. Here is the replay once again. That's Devin who made that last pass. I think it was the ball came off a St. Peter's player. Unlucky there for Isipathana College.
An important period of the game for St. Peter's especially. They can't afford to concede again. If they do, might be a step too far. And as I say that, Suhail Fernando under severe pressure. And this is where Isipathana have realized it's a young fly half coming in, an inexperienced fly half, and they've really been pressuring that all game, Dinuk. So it's smart play from the Pathanians.
Steven Sivaraj will be missed, and this is where he'll be missed. Just on the 22 line, dropping that ball. A change coming in for Isipathana College. Sarasinghe comes in place of Devin Gunaratna. So both number 8s who started have been taken out. Now this is a great opportunity.
Going off the back, in fact it's Jayamana that has come on. Surprised that he started on the bench today, but Jayamana is a good number 8, has deputized for Gunaratna before and makes the first break of the game. Harit Bandara trying to cut back on the inside. Isipathana have the penalty. And referee Dinka Peiris will want to have a word with the Peters captain now. In fact, he wants to have a word first with Irshad Khada, his assistant.
It was Irshad Khada who stopped play, and he wanted to stop play, put his flag out, kept on communicating to Dinka Peiris to stop the game. We see why it is for. Was it for that kick? It'll be interesting to see that replay again of why
Jayamana has just come on as well. Well, he's been on the park for about 30 seconds and has to take a seat again. And if we can see that replay, we'll see exactly what it was for. I was just saying it's a really important time of the game, Dinuk, and that loss, especially with Devin Gunaratna, who scored the first try out of the game as well. Jayamana now, who just replaced him, being sent to the bin. Could be a really important time for St. Peter's to capitalize on that.
Yeah, one-man shot for Isipathana College. That yellow tag on top of that scoreboard has stayed a long time.
Wonderful kick from Theekshana Dasanayaka. Chamut Fernando stepped on the line before he collected the ball, so it's still going to be St. Peter's ball. It was always going to be St. Peter's ball, but a brilliant kick from the middle of the field. It's very difficult to find long touch, but he's gained about 50 meters for his team. Short throw from Isru Fernando. Here's Abdullah. Nice little step from the pit right player there. Jason Karunaratne, it was trying to step through. He's only a wee lad, but playing like a man much bigger than him.
Yeah, he's a wing three-quarter turned into a flanker, Jason Karunaratne. He had a cracker against Trinity in that first in the league. St. Peter's once again conceding a penalty at a crucial point, and this next 8 minutes is where they need to capitalize before Isipathana gets into the full 15.
Nice take from Manjula, who has been imperious in the air today again. And Kulasekara making a mistake. Ball going straight through his hands, and Chamut Fernando now trying to rescue the situation and does so excellently. Yasagam Pitia, who's had a good game today. No release from the pit right tackler, so Isipathana will have another chance to relieve pressure. And Ruberu's touch finder is inefficient but good enough.
Here's that replay once again. Not releasing, says referee Dinka Piris. Isipathana will try to run the clock down before they get into the 15, full 15. They're playing with 14 and they've played with 14 for a long time in this game, Shanaka.
Yes, they have, and that discipline, if it comes back to haunt them at the end of the game, will be something they will rue. Bit of a confusion with the match balls. Again, Anjana in the front of the line out. Once calls referee Dinka Piris, who has updated himself, it seems, in the last couple of weeks. Jason Karunaratne making a break, putting pressure on Isipathana's defense. Peters now in a desperate attack, not hanging on to the ball. Quite a few stoppages in this game for injury. Jason Karunaratne picks himself up off your screen and hobbles over to rejoin the scrum.
Also Manilka Ruberu, that's a big one for Isipathana College. They don't want to lose another number 12.
Certainly not. He's been a rock for them this season. And play will go on while he gets treated. Kainath. Nice hands from Isipathana. Excellent work. De Silva brought down in a good tackle in the end, and managed to turn the ball over as well as Diath Fernando. And there's a lot of untidy work there, but St. Peter's coming away with a little bit of pace. Asau needs to step back inside and find his support runners. And there's a penalty given away by Yasagam Pitya. Nice little offload to Tikshana Dasanayaka, who will go on his own, and Dasanayaka scores. Tikshana Dasanayaka scores the try that puts St. Peter's into the lead. We spoke a few moments ago about how important this period of play is. And with the departure of Jayamana to the yellow card, it looks like the tide may be turning.
Yeah, and the big one is also Manilka Ruberu. He was just limping. He didn't take part in that defensive effort at all. That was two-man shot for Isipathana College. Here's Tikshana Dasanayaka. Too much pace and class for him on that close quarters to score that try. Lovely run, but it was all set up way before that for St. Peter's College, and they have capitalized on the numbers of the park for Isipathana College. 13 against 15 for St. Peter's, and this conversion is very important.
This will put it beyond the reach of a penalty. It will take it out to tying distance, but not winning distance for Isipathana. And unfortunately, Dasanayaka cannot convert his own try today. So it's 20 points to 19 at the moment. Isipathana will need to camp down in the opposition half to try and win this game. There's still time left though, anything could happen. And as we were saying, Dinuk, at the start of the game, it's turned out to be a real humdinger.
Yeah, it has been, and what entertainment these lads have provided. All the players who are part of this have done an exceptional game. In the meantime, there's a replacement for St. Peter's. Chamin the Sandarwan has come into the field. Let's see for whom. And a big kick by Sohail Fernando. But it stays in the field of play. This is where St. Peter's Isipathana is dangerous. Chamod Fernando throws a long pass out.
It was a dangerous pass. And here's St. Peter's still going. And the referee stops the game again, as off your screens, assistant referee Irshad Kader has his flag up again. It's the third time Kader has had his flag up today, giving a lot of assistance to his chief referee. This is going to be very interesting. See exactly what happened and where. Diath Fernando cannot believe what he's hearing. It's been quite a few lectures today, and St. Peter's also have lost a player.
That's when Jayaman is preparing to come back in. So the game may swing the other way around. The last 10 minutes.
Unfortunately, we can't hear the exchanges between the two referees, but Janitha Fernando is a man who takes a seat, and he will have played his last part in this semi-final unless it goes to extra time. Unlikely that that will happen, but Jayamana preparing to come back, one number 8 for another. Nicely done there by Sarasinghe. De Silva gets smashed in midfield, and Samut Fernando now coming up, trying to hold the ball a little bit more. That looked like that might have been a block tackle, but referee says play on. Nice offload, excellent offload in fact. And Vikas Rimadava fights his way towards the sticks. Jayamana, Gayanath rather. Here's Anjula now, his second row partner. Does well to make the ball available. Harit Bandara, Yasagam Pitya, good tackle on him. And now the numbers for Kulasekara, couldn't get the pass away because Isipathana had come up off, Peters had come up offside. They'll have the penalty, and Harit Bandara just can't get the pass away. Bandara takes it quickly. He really does need to take the 3 points here, but they don't have a kick on the park. Samut Fernando will be forced to take this kick against medical advice. And sanity has prevailed, Dinuk, and Isipathana will take the 3 points. They have to now with just 8 minutes left on the clock.
Samut Fernando has to take the kick, has to lead from the front. Big kick coming up for Isipathana College. Little over eager there, the first offside call for Tikshana Dasanayaka. He had to come up, but it was a bit too soon that he came up. Not much of a run up, but that's good enough for Isipathana College to have 3 points and the lead back.
Fernando again making the important contribution, and Jayamana is back, so Isipathana are back to 15, and St. Peter's will have to play the last 8 minutes of this game with a man down. The numerical advantage restored for Isipathana. Biat Fernando to restart. It's all to play for here. These two teams have given us some incredible entertainment. Here's Jayamana, or Gayanath rather. Harit Bandara. Nice step in by Fernando, but he leaves the ball behind. Important that they play the game in the right half of the field for Isipathana. And for St. Peter's, it's just going to be desperation stuff really. But they know a penalty can still win it for them too, so they'll need to be within touching distance. Try to force the mistake from this Isipathana team. Isuru Fernando, that is, who tried a little goose step. Long ball out to Tikshana Dasanayaka. Now Dasanayaka needs to straighten. It's a forward pass. And again, the decision making is panicky from Peters. They'll need to realize that there's more than 5 minutes in this game left. They need to just settle down and try and milk a penalty.
That forward pass was up between about 10 meters of space between the touchline. 3 passes was made. They had to keep ball and rotate, keep ball rotation, and then get closer inside that 22. Here's the replay once again. Going forward. He had to take that ball into contact, Shanaka.
No look pass from the number 7. That was Seram who's come on. Harit Bandara with a long ball back to Kulasekara. And taking that one at the second occasion was Sandaruwan. A mistake from Sandaruwan there, allowing Isipathana a scrum. Look for the grubber on the blind side here. That ball went forward, and the referee will bring play back.
No mistakes, Father, no mistakes.
That's the replay. You can see a nice little offload there. But here's a forward pass. So this is an important scrum for St. Peter's. First they need to get into the opposition half, not try to run it immediately. Excellent defense from Isipathana. That was Sabanayaka who ran up. And that was a little lucky for St. Peter's to get that penalty going their way. Look for all money like the ball carrier had gotten isolated. And with just 2 minutes left, St. Peter's are thinking of running it. Diat Fernando takes the kick from about 5 meters in front of where the penalty was given.
But gets a good touch, good distance, just outside the 22. This is where a perfect platform for St. Peter's to attack from. And the replacement wing for St. Peter's, Chaminda Sandaruwan, taken out. And in comes Vishara Shehan.
Peters have packed their back line off your screens, but doesn't matter if they can't win the line out. Intelligent kick from Bandara, and now the new winger will put his captain under serious pressure. Gayanath, lovely offload from Gayanath to Atukorala, smashed in the tackle by the replacement, Yasagam Pitia. Chamut Fernando, and now Navo Chaminda in for the corner. Chaminda will not score, he'll knock it on. But I think that settles it, Dinuk. It's just 2 points in it, but just too far.
Should be a 5-meter scrum for Isipathana because that ball went off a St. Peter's player. And it's just the matter of seconds that Isipathana has to hold on to book a place in the final, which will be played under lights next week.
So don't forget that if you're fans of the winning team today, you can get a chance to join the festivities from your couch. And that's the game. Isipathana have come so close, but no cigar. A wonderful game of rugby, and we haven't picked a man of the match. And for me, Isipathana in the number 20 jersey was excellent for Isipathana, as was Tikshana Dasanayaka and Robin Fernando for St. Peter's.
Milo, fueling the winning spirit.
But Anjana was excellent in the line out for Isipathana as well. And Randy Silva playing in an unfamiliar position, but Manuka Ruberu had an outstanding game too. I thought Dinuk were spoiled for choice today.
I think except for that yellow card, I will go with Isipathana, number 20. Had a fantastic game. Just a rush of blood in that early exchanges where he copped a yellow card. But other than that, he was brilliant in the line-outs, put a lot of pressure for St. Peter's. And he'll be a deserved man of the match. On the other hand, for St. Peter's, they'll be gutted because they came so close. It's just 2 points in this game, and Isipathana, as I said before, know how to win games. They won against St. Peter's by a point, St. Anthony's by a point. They won against St. Peter's by 2 points, and they deserve to be in that final. You'll only see how much injuries that they'll need to carry into that final, and also how much fatigue will take, because it's been a long season for them. And St. Joseph's versus Isipathana, what a game it's going to be next Saturday.
So Yasagam Pitya is our man of the match today, as we look at some dejected players from St. Peter's. And the jubilant team from Isipathana, and although they are jubilant, they can barely raise their heads or their arms high enough to celebrate today. Losing is always a terrible, terrible thing, and St. Peter's are dejected. Heads in their hands, hands on their knees. And the bench also cannot bring themselves to go and join their teammates on the field. It was such a close game. St. Peter's went into the lead with just a few minutes left. But unfortunately for them, a yellow card in the last few minutes to Janidu meant that they didn't have 14 men on the park for the last 10 minutes, and that really told the story in the end, Dinuk. But an outstanding game of rugby for this semi-final.
Yeah, what a game it was for neutrals. And Isipathana College deserved winners. They controlled the game from the beginning in the first quarter of the game. St. Peter's College, so unfortunate to go by 2 points, but that ends the season for them. A well-fought season, came in as one of the favorites in the league, beat the big teams, and here's the summary of the match today. Isipathana winning 22 points to 20 after leading 19 points to 12 at halftime. 3 tries apiece, 2 conversions, the difference in the game so far, and a penalty each, with our player of the match, Chamo Yasagam Pitya of Isipathana College.
And if you're an Isipathana fan, you can join the festivities at the finals as well by taking this number down, 072 760 161. That's 072 760 161. And if you give a missed call to that number next week, you can cheer for your team as well as the 16th man, a feature brought to you by Milo for the first time here in Sri Lanka. So Josephian fans can call 160 and Isipathana fans can call 161 as we see the season end for this blue, silver and gold team. They tried valiantly today under the Fernando's leadership, but a few early mistakes were just a little too costly for them. And although they came back strongly, it was 2 points too far. So Isipathana will go into the finals. They've got several injuries to carry with them into that final. Their captain will definitely be out. We'll see who else may have suffered in this game. Join us for the finals on ThePapare.com, Dialogue TV and My TV. Until then, from Dinuk, myself and our production team, it's goodbye for now.
pull of the crown, the overpowering of a tackle, the thrill of scoring, the feeling nothing compares with. Milo President's Trophy. First semi-final between St. Joseph's and ThePapare on 17 June at 4:15 p.m. Second semi-final between St.Peter's and Isipathana on 18 June at 4 p.m. Live and exclusive on Dialogue Television Channel 1, ThePapare.com and Dialogue My TV.
Okay, this year prior to the big finale,
Legends Rugby Showdown.
Legends match. There will be a Legends game.
winning captain since 1995.
Captains la okkoma අවුරුදු 25ක් කලින් හිටපු කට්ටිය.
Captains who have won
ජූනි 24 වෙනිදා
Milo trophy finals දවසේ.
Between the Milo Whites and the Milo Greens.
Fans to come and join with us. And I hope you all enjoy witness the game. Knockout final එක බලන්නත්.
I hope all of you guys will be there.
ඉතින් ආරාධනා කරනවා මමත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. It'll be a great day to recall the memories.
It's going to be a new experience, fun day before the start of the final.
Hope you guys could join us and watch that game as well.